What up, friends? Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to make key lime pie. A lot of key lime pie experts out there. If you're a true key lime, pick the key limes off the tree and make the graham cracker crust, this recipe's probably not for you. But for me, I love key lime pie. I call myself a key lime aficionado, not an expert. I have eaten and tried several different recipes, and I always come back to this recipe. It's extremely easy, and I use graham cracker crumb shells from the grocery store, and I use the recipe pretty much right from the back of Nellie and Joe's Key West lime juice, except I add one more egg yolk to mine. So I'm making two key lime pies today. One will have meringue and one will not. So key lime pie, it started in the Keys, obviously. If you didn't know this, but in Key West it used to be a big sponge, an area for sponges. Natural sponges were found there. Matter of fact, they almost wiped them all out. And anyways, in the olden days, when the men went out on these sponge trips, they needed something they wanted something sweet, a dessert or something. So what they did was the ladies of Key West picked the Key West limes, mixed them with the egg yolks and the cream, and they put that on the side, and then they had it with saltines. And that's kind of how, because once you put the lime juice in with the yolks and the sweetened condensed milk, then you could leave it out for days. And then of course they use the cracker crumbs for the crunchiness of it. So that's how key lime started. So this recipe is very easy. I'll just go over it real quick. So it's 4 egg yolks. So I have the whites here, and then I have the egg yolks here. It's 4 egg yolks, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, and I believe it's a half a cup of Nellie and Joe's Key West lime juice. Now, when I make my meringue, I'm then going to use you would use 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1/4 cup of sugar, and the 4 egg whites that you separated. So I'm using the mixer today because I am going to make the meringue. You can whip it up in a bowl with a whisk should you wish, and then put cream from the store on it. It will work just as well. Now again, I'm making 2 pies today, so I'm going to get started. So I have 8 egg yolks right here. I'm using 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk because I'm making 2 pies. And then I'm putting in a cup of Key West lime juice. If you're only making 1 pie, again, it would only be a half a cup. And then, oh, by the way, your oven should be at 350. Whip this up. Smells great. I love this juice. Now again, I'm using the store-bought pie shells because I think they're just as good as anything anybody could make. I'm just going to bring the sides down real quick on this just to make sure we got everything. All right, so when you get key lime pie at a restaurant, here's your first clue. It might not be the good stuff. If it comes and it's green, it's not key lime pie. If it comes and it's a yellow tint, could be you're onto some really good key lime pie. I'm going to fill these pie crusts. Now, 15 minutes at 350 in the oven, and you'll have a key lime pie. And then you'll let it cool down, put some cream on it, find yourself some nice raspberry sauce to put on it, and you'll be off to the races. I'm gonna throw these in, and we'll be out in 15 minutes. All right, 15 minutes is up, and we're ready to take these bad boys out of the oven. Now, don't go directly to the refrigerator, which it seems obvious to me, but I'm gonna say it anyways. These need to rest. So at least let them rest 10 minutes before you refrigerate them. I'd let them rest more like a half an hour. I got my towel and my key lime there. Now, I'm gonna kick out some merengue and do the cha-cha. One of my pies is gonna have meringue on it. The other will probably have whipped cream on it. The meringue pies don't last as long in the refrigerator, whereas the pie that you would put I would serve if you're having whipped cream, I would only put whipped cream on it when you're serving the pie. Another thing that you can do, I talked about raspberry sauce, goes great with key lime pie. Get you some raspberries, put them on a stove with a little bit of water and a little bit of sugar and cook them down, mash them, take that juice out, put it in something that you can pour from, and then as you serve the key lime pie, put a little dabble of that raspberry sauce on there with the whipped cream, and I guarantee you it'll be a hit wherever you go. So let's get this meringue going. So I have in here the 8 egg whites. If you're making one pie, it would be 4 egg whites. And I'm going to wind them up. Meringue, you got to go pretty quick on. I'm about 3/4 of the way up. Now I'm going to put in gradually, as the egg whites form, for my 8 egg whites, which are 2 pies, I'm using a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Sugar adds the sweetness, obviously. The cream of tartar you put in close to the end, and that once you get your stiff egg whites, that helps them stay stiff. Could really insert some jokes there, but I won't. So pretty much a waiting game on meringue. You don't want to over whip it. You want to get till you get some nice stiff peaks. I'm going to slowly add this sugar. I started a stopwatch. We're going to see how long it takes these egg whites. And then as you look in the pan, I wish I had another GoPro to show you this, which someday I will probably. You can see it comes to a white, it starts out as yellow egg white, comes to like a white froth, and now I can see it start to build. As it starts to build, I'm going to add the cream of tartar. Off the side a little bit. Got a little sugar and stuff in there. Now, the meringue, when you put the meringue on, I'm going to do it on one pie, and when you put the meringue on the pie, it needs to go back in the oven for 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes, until the tips of the meringue start to turn brown. And you really want to get it kind of as close to the heat as you can. I have a gas oven. The gas comes from the bottom, so that's really hard for me to do without overheating the bottom of the pie. My mixer is on an 8 out of 10. The egg whites are really starting to froth up now. Really starting to look like a meringue now. You can over whip this, so you may need to pause every now and then and take a break. What I do is I pause it, just kind of stick the spatula in and pull. And if it just falls out and falls back down, then it's not ready yet. You want that peak to kind of stand up. You can start to see that as the mixer mixes through it and it starts making styrations you can see that they start to stay. They don't fall away. That's kind of another clue. Oh, we're really close now. All right, I say we're ready. Now, full disclosure, I know nothing about meringue. I know nothing about, other than the meringue I've made in for my key lime pies, and I just basically got it out of a cookbook and tried it one time. Could be a cook watching this and go, that guy has no idea what a meringue is, but here's my meringue. And if you look, it's hard to see, but as you pull it, the peak stands up. See that peak standing right there? And it ain't moving. That's how you know your meringue is ready. Oh man, that's beautiful. Now I just kind of spoon it on. You don't want to get it too thick, maybe ½ an inch. I like to take a fork and just kind of make some peaks. I don't know, seems to look better to me without going down and touching the pie. And these are the peaks that when they start turning brown, you'll have an indication that your meringue is cooked long enough. All right. We're going to throw this back in the oven for 10 minutes. So that was about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to make that meringue. All right, here's a bonus. So you got meringue left over. Make some meringue cookies. I'm giving it a try. So take parchment paper on a cookie sheet, dab the meringue on there, and then put a little cinnamon on top, and those are supposed to go in the oven at 200 degrees, but since my oven has my key lime pie in it, which is in there right now, it's at 350. I'm going to leave the door open and throw these in after I get my pie out, and then hopefully we'll get her down to 200. So prepare yourself. What you're about to see, you will dream about for years. My key lime pie with meringue. Beautiful. Look at the browning of the chips. Well, there you have it. Key lime pie. Easy Weasy. 4 egg yolks, ½ a cup of Nellie and Joe's Key West lime juice, can of sweetened condensed milk, whip it up, put it in a store-bought pie shell, graham cracker shell, and tell everybody that it's a family recipe, and they'll believe you because it's just that good. I'm gonna pop the meringue cookies in right now. I'm gonna turn my oven off, let it cool down in there, and we'll have them out, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see how they cook. I'll let you know. All right, there you have it, folks. I believe that's a 3-for-1 video. We got key lime pie to have whipped cream on it later. We got key lime pie with meringue. And after 45 minutes in the oven at 200 degrees, I have, and then let them sit another 30 minutes in the oven, I have meringue cookies. So, hey, 3 for 1, you can't beat that. If you like the video, please subscribe, like it. It'd mean a lot to me. And I'll see y'all next time. Let's dream something else up. Take care.